guys, my name is Ryan45678 and today we're going to be working on the Mazda Tribute. Specifically, we're going to be replacing the rear motor mount. So I've already got the car on jack stands. What I did was I used the rear of the control arm, which is what the manual said to do, right at the bolt. I don't know if you can see it, but that's where I jacked it up, and I put jack stands with a piece of wood between them and the subframe because the jack stands are like this. You don't want that pinching in there. Essentially what we need to do this are that's a 20-inch extension, 19mm and 18mm deep socket just in case, because there are some studs with nuts. Obviously this ratchet's too short. We're going to need a breaker bar of some sort, or I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use pipe most likely. Some other things I'm obviously going to need are the new motor mount, some Loctite to put on once we put it on. This could be for leverage. Here's the pipe. I don't know if it'll be enough. And also a torque wrench to torque the bolts down to the right spec, which is, it's not exact. I couldn't find an exact spec for this model, this car. It's an 03 Mazda Tribute. So any of the bolts were 55 to 77 foot-pounds. The nuts were 32 to 45. So I'll probably do somewhere halfway in between that. And the Loctite should help. I believe that's everything we need. I'm going to go ahead and double check that these actually are the right size sockets, because I just went off what other people said. So yeah. Okay, I just checked and all the bolts are actually 18, including this big one that goes here. So now that we've got that straight, let me talk about other issues with the car. If you don't want to watch this part, go ahead and skip forward to the actual motor mount replacement. So obviously the throttle cable, someone did this and it's still loose. I'm eventually going to see if there's a way on the actual pedal to adjust the length, so we can put this back where it actually goes and have it still be at the right tightness. There's also a broken off exhaust stud on the firewall side. According to the people we took it to get it inspected, we're gonna have to fix that somehow. Depending on how broken off it is, we'll be able to do it. If not, somebody else can do it and we'll have to pay a lot of money. There's obviously a couple of interior cosmetic things to fix. Coolant, I believe, is low because there's a light. The door ajar light is on. No matter how many doors are shut, it's on. Oh yeah, I didn't mention, the reason we're replacing the motor mount is because when we took it to get inspected, they told us that the motor mounts were busted, and this rear one is the worst because when you shift from park to reverse, it goes like this, and it goes like that, and it's really bad. So I noticed a couple more things when I was under there. I saw the actual exhaust bolt where it's broken off. It's actually a broken off stud, and there's no nut anymore, obviously, because there's no stud. Hopefully it's not broken off. Maybe it's just missing. I seriously doubt that, though. But I can actually see it. I don't know if I'd be able to get to it from down there to actually do that. I also noticed some oil leaking, just a little. It's like, I don't know, the engine pieces down there are covered in a little bit of oil. Some of it's kind of wanting to drip off, and that's probably what this spot is right here. So we're gonna have to be careful with the oil in this vehicle now. That's all I can think of right now. But yeah, let's get to the repair. Now, what everybody says you're supposed to do, and the service manual says this too, you're supposed to put the jack under the oil pan, put a board between the jack and the oil pan, and jack it until it just supports it. You don't want to actually jack on it and jack up the engine. You just want to jack it enough to where it can rest on that board, because it's still got two other motor mounts holding the engine in place. You just want to keep the one you're taking off lined up when you actually go to replace it. So hopefully you can see that. Give it some. Okay, that's not quite level. So let me get a wedge. I think I'm gonna put a wedge in there. But hopefully you can see that it's just touching it. It's not jacking it up at all. Little piece, just wedge it in there, distribute the weight a little more evenly, and it should be good. About ready to take that motor mount off. So what we're gonna do for that is I'm going to put the thing down in there and go under there and put the socket on and yank on it. So I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. I'm just gonna go right here. I can't quite get it on there from this position, so I'm just gonna set it, and then I'm gonna have to go underneath and put it on there by hand. So hopefully you can see that. I got it on there. I had to move a wiring thing out of the way. Actually ended up breaking the clip thing that it was attached to, but I don't know, have to fix that later. But now I should be able to get the first bolt off. I think I might need the impact. So I made a big boo-boo. I forgot to disconnect the battery, and I ended up, most likely from this touching here, arcing something. So I hope I didn't kill anything important. But anyway, I was going to switch to an impact gun. I know these aren't impact bits or anything, but at this point, I know I'm not going to be able to do it by hand without breaking either myself or something else on the car. Tell you what, guys, I don't want to break anything, and I can barely get to that middle bolt, so I think what I might do is I might take the 2 bolts that bracket the thing to the engine off, and then the 3 back here, see how it goes, and hopefully I can get to those. So far that middle one does not want to come off, so I'm going to go for the sides and hopefully get the whole thing off. Man, I wish I was recording, but I got it. Actually I got the middle bolt. I went out and bought a normal socket instead of a deep socket, and I got it with this amount of leverage. It just kind of went, and as you can hopefully see, it's turning. Yeah, I think we're gonna have more luck than I thought. But anyway, the reason I went and got a smaller socket, shorter I mean, is because, as hopefully you can see that, it actually clears better. It doesn't get in the, things don't get in the way. So, yeah, I think we might have a chance at this. I'm gonna loosen all these and then take them out, because I don't know, it's probably just the best way to do it. Oh yeah, you definitely can't see this one, but yeah, it's down in there, it's flat on the thing, and it should come off. I'm probably gonna get a longer extension to add on to this one, so it doesn't bump into this piece right here, because it will once I put this pipe on it. All right, maybe I'll get lucky, and when I crack this one, you guys will see it, or hear it, but it is on there. The leverage, hopefully this one will come off a little easier. You hear that? It's going. It wants to. Oh man. Oh, there we go. There's one. Well, actually, technically, it's 2 of them. Cool. So, this is actually working. Now that I think about it, I might still need the deep socket on these other 2 because they're on studs and they're nuts. I'll see if I can get it down there without the deep socket first. I can't even see though, is the problem. Yeah, I definitely need the deep socket. It's working. My plan is working. So in the end, we only bought 1 socket we didn't need, which was a 19, which is good. Okay. Time for bolt number 3, or nut, if you want to get technical about it. I'm surprised they come off with this little torque, because this really isn't that long of a length for getting torque. Oh gosh, does not want to go. If this one doesn't go, I could probably use the impact, because it's on there straight. And I know, I think I said this before, but you're not supposed to use ratchets as breaker bars, but I've done it before and it works, so why not? If it kills the ratchet, it kills the ratchet. Man, does not want to come loose. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna break the extensions or something. Let's try this again with a shorter extension. Oh, I think I got it. It sounded like it broke, but I think it broke loose. I hope. Oh gosh, it was a hard one. Seems like it's turning out, so I don't think I broke it. I did use penetrating oil on these, by the way. It was it's been driven since then, so I don't know if that affects it at all, but I don't know. That's what the other one did. Where'd this? I got the socket off of it. Ow, it hurt. Oh. It bent my fingernail. Where? Oh. Yeah. At least I got it. Next time on those, I'll probably use the impact. Because that was not fun. Whew. Finally, I got that thing out. Loosened all these bolts after I broke them loose. This thing was on top, so it came out like this. Because I felt around, this thing was loose, so I grabbed it and took it off. And then I ended up having to pull the motor mount out through there. There is a gap that I couldn't see from in there. No, actually that's where I was reaching. I couldn't get it through there, so that was the only way. So these match, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in there, put this on top like that. This is basically just a giant washer with rubber around it to, I guess, I don't know exactly. The big one goes through here, the little one goes through there. These two go in this, it's hot nuts. These two go in the studs, and these nuts go over them, and I'll torque them to spec. Yeah, there's some nasty crap in there. That looks like wood shavings to me. I'm not sure why there'd be wood. Maybe it's like pecan stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna find a way to put that back in there. I'm not gonna film it because you're not gonna be able to see. You just have to wiggle it in there and get it situated to where it was before. And it should be lined up. If not, I'll have to change the jack. But yeah, I'll show you guys once I get that in and start tightening. Alright, so I got it in there. It's not perfectly lined up. The middle bolt that goes through there is a little off, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the mount up a little bit with that bolt in it until it lines up, and then start getting it until it kind of, maybe you can kind of, as I tighten it, bring the motor in line with itself, with the mount. If that doesn't make sense, what I'm saying is I'm going to do this. Wrong bolt. What I'm going to do, since it's out of alignment, say the hole it needs to go in is here, it's like here. I'm going to pull it up to where it can line up and start grabbing it, and then grab towards it. And obviously it's going to be really difficult for me to show that on camera, so I'm not going to really try. I'm just going to do it and show you guys progress as it goes along. So before I actually do this, I'm going to put some Loctite on these threads. So a little bit on the nuts, a little bit on these, and apparently I only have 10 minutes to work with it. So I'm going to try to work as fast as I can, and it fully cures in about 24 hours. Alright, not sure if you can see that, but I got the bolt in there, the other 3 bolts and nuts with Loctite and that washer on there. The one that was off center, the middle one in there, I got that in. It's going through the hole. I need to just get that one in there first quick before the Loctite sets, and then get the other 3 before they set. Alright, so I actually have about 20 minutes, that's what this says. I'm going to go ahead and torque these. I have a smaller torque wrench because the bigger one is 1/2 inch and I can't find an adapter fast enough. So I'm going to go ahead and torque the ones with nuts first, which coincidentally happen to be the deep socket ones, and the ones that just tightened. So I'm going to torque them to 480 inch-pounds if I can do it with this little amount of leverage, which is 40 foot-pounds, which they were about 40, I think 30 something to 45. So see what we can do. May not have enough leverage. There we go. You heard that click? It wasn't breaking. It was this thing clicking, and it means that one's torqued. That was surprisingly easy. The other ones may be a little harder. The ones that are a bigger torque spec. If I can get this one, it's the same, about 40. Come on. Jeez. There we go. I like this one better than the Harbor Freight because it makes an audible click. Harbor Freight inch-pounds one just kind of goes. You don't really even hear it. So, next, we're on to the smaller socket ones. And these are going to be torqued at anywhere 55 to 77, so I'm going to say 65 if I can go that high. 65 foot-pounds, 780. This thing goes up to 960, so we're good. Go ahead and adjust it. Oh, I forgot to tighten it, but that's okay. It didn't really move at all. So, and it's within the torque range, if the small amount that it did move. So it is 720. The next one is 840, so about in the middle. Go ahead and hit that middle one first. This one's going to be a little harder. A lot more torque to apply. I don't know if I can do it by hand. Jeez. 600. see what that is. That's 50, which is lower than it needs to be. Fortunately, I can't get the pipe on there. Okay, take it up higher if I can. There we go. I should be able to do the other one if I get in this position. I think that's why. It's because I was trying to use the stool for leverage and it just wasn't working. One last hit on this one. Turn more, a little bit more, a little more. Oh gosh. Okay, that's gonna have to do it, I think. I think that socket's been eating up that bolt, so that's gonna have to do it. Oh man, that was awful, but it's done. I'm gonna have to figure out something to do about this plastic thing. If I can zip tie it maybe. And hopefully I didn't kill it by shocking the thing, so time to let it down. Well, at least the engine, not the entire car yet. And it didn't fall apart. Alright, so I'm about to show you what I did. It's been a couple days. I zip tied the thing wrong. I just fixed it. Hopefully you can see that. You can kind of see that thing sticking out at the bottom of the zip ties. That's where it's supposed to go. The little plastic piece that's underneath that broke off. So I just zip tied the wire to where it stays in that position. Not super tight, just enough to hold it. And I think I was wrong about the battery. You're actually supposed to undo the negative terminal, but it's a little late for that now. Alright, ignore the noise. That's just Cameron filling up the tires in the truck. So we got the battery hooked back up. I actually just did the positive because it only sparked a tiny bit, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. But in the future, when I do that, I'll be removing that terminal. So we got that zip tied, and we should be good to lower it to the ground. And I was doing some research. The arcing that happened, I don't think is going to be a big deal, because I went from the positive terminal, the hot one, to some kind of ground on the car, which is probably just a metal piece anywhere. So I'm hoping that's what happened. We'll see. Should probably do it a little slower than that. Alright, moment of truth. The battery obviously works because you see there's lights. Yeah, it would help if I had the key. It said to turn all accessories off, and the only one I can think of is the AC. I'd press the radio because the light comes on for it. I don't know. I assume that's just off by default, so let's go ahead and crank it. Sounds good. Sounds like it's going to work. Oh no, okay. I thought for a second I was thinking I was going 100 miles an hour, but I guess that's probably because the battery was taken off. Okay, it runs. That's a good thing. So we're supposed to let it warm up. There's still a little bit of jumps when it's idling, but not nearly as bad as it was before. Because before, a little under 1,000 RPMs, and it would just go, just kind of, and I don't know, that could still be a problem. I don't know if it's directly related to the motor mount, but it looks like it's holding steady. So once it warms up, we'll take it on a drive for 10 miles, and we'll see what happens. It seems good so far. I feel the engine moving a tiny bit, but not much. After we come back from the drive, we'll check park and reverse, shifting from park, drive, reverse, that kind of thing, because that was the main indicator that it was not working right. So, all right, it looks like we're up at operating temperature. So now it says to turn the AC on. Idle for a minute. All right, so we're going to the feed store. That'll be plenty of time to get 10 miles in, more than enough actually. Let's see how it does. That's a lot better, because you could feel it clunk into gear before. Oh yeah, that's a lot smoother. Because it would do some kind of weird thing where it was like, because every time I would drive it, I would feel like I was gonna break it, but I don't feel that anymore. So still got some weird rough idle type thing going on. So the motor mount didn't fix that. but it did fix a lot of the vibration. Like at higher speeds, like 40 or 50 miles an hour, it was kind of, I don't know, it felt like it was shaking a little bit. And also the shifting thing from park to reverse or whatever. And when you accelerate it, it felt like it was going. So that's gone, but still got that issue apparently and some other ones. Alright, so let's wrap up this video. The motor mount was a success. It reduced the vibration quite a bit. We drove it around a couple days ago. It's been a couple days since that's been done. Drove a little bit better. I was more confident in pushing it a little bit harder. What we're going to be doing next is replacing this motor mount because hopefully you can see it. It's kind of dark. So that motor mount is going to be replaced because when you shift it from like between park and reverse and things like that, before it was doing brr and brr, and now it's doing like brr and brr. But if you watch this motor mount while it does it, then it goes, you can see, like if this was this piece and my hand was this piece, you can kind of see it going. It's like moving in its mount. It should do that. It should like wiggle because it's rubber, but it's doing that. So whenever we do that, I'll show that first so you get an idea of what it's looking like, and then we'll replace it. This one should be really easy because all it is these, like a bolt here, another bolt like it on the other side, this main bolt, and I think this should come out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this this video. Next time I will take the ground clamp on the battery off instead of this one, or no terminal at all. What is this? That's a little bit concerning. Something had a rubber thing apparently, and now it doesn't. I'll just put that back. That's a safe place to keep it, I guess. Oh gosh. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it or if this helped. I'll put a link to a video that helped me with doing this. And yeah, if you want to see more projects or repair videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new video. And as always, there are affiliate links in the description below. I'll definitely put an affiliate link to the motor mount that we replaced in case you want to do it yourself. But just make sure, double check that it actually is the right one for your car. Because for this one, I found the part, we ordered it, but some of them, it looked almost the same, but it said it was for the front, which somebody was saying was under the radiator. So be careful, make sure you get the right part. This one said, fits this year model, front right. So if it doesn't fit, that's their fault, and we have to send it back. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.